Okay, so tonight you're going to work for a half hour on this. And a lot of you will get through at least marking everything true and false. And some of you will get through the riddle, and a few of you might have to do a little more work tomorrow. So the tricky thing about this is the directions. All right? So when I read the directions, it says cross out the letters. So we're going to cross out the letters corresponding to each true statement. That's confusing to people. That's why I'm highlighting just cross out the truths. Okay? When you are finished, you're going to write the remaining letters at the bottom of the page. And the spaces at the bottom of the page. So let me do a few to help you. But my recommendation is don't cross anything out at first. Just write true, false, true, false, true, false. And don't go fast because you will make mistakes if you rush. Well, at least I would make mistakes if I rush. So I think a lot of people might. So we're going to look at the first one. 78 is divisible by 2. Since it's even, I get to put a dot because I know it's divisible by 2. And then to do 78 using the rule, 7 plus 8, that adds up to 15. So, Eli, is 15 divisible by 3? Yes. So the whole number is divisible by 3. Okay, so you have to use, in order to understand this, you have to use the other side of the paper. And then 6 goes into a number any times 2 and 3 does. So all 3 of those are true, so we're just going to call that true. I'll do the crossing out in a few minutes. Emma?
Can we write this down?
I would do exactly what I'm doing, just follow along with me. Okay? So for the next one, 1,324 is not divisible by 4. Well, the rule for 4 is, remember the rule for 4 is if I cover up everything but the number formed by the last 2 digits, if that number 24 is divisible by 4, the whole number is divisible by 4. And so what do you think, Lloyd? Is 24 divisible by 4?
Yes.
Yes. So the whole thing is divisible by 4, which makes this a false statement.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a false there. So far, you get this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so read the next one, Quincy.
245 is divisible by 7.
So we're going to do the 7 rule, the weird rule. We're going to double the 5, and we're going to get 10. So that doesn't look like a 10. Let's try again.
This one is true.
And then we're going to subtract it. How'd you know that, Naomi? Or Eli?
Yeah, because I did 24 minus 10 equals 14, and 5 by 7 equals.
Yeah, since 7 goes into 14, 7 goes into the whole number, so we're going to say true. But you notice I'm not actually doing the division problems. You're not supposed to do the division problems. You're supposed to use the little rules. Okay? So the next one, 2,000,004 is divisible by 2. It is, because it's even. How about 3? We have to add the digits. 2 plus all those zeros plus 4 adds up to what? 6, right? So does 3 go into 6?
Yeah.
So 3 goes into the whole thing. Okay, and then how about the 4 rule? I cover everything but the last 2 digits. So that would be all of those numbers. Does 4 go into 4?
Yeah.
Yep. So 4 goes into this. And how about 6?
Yeah.
Because 2 and 3 do. So then, is that true or false? It is true. We're going to keep doing this until I get another false. So 150, is it divisible by 2? Yes, because it's even. Is it divisible by 3?
Yeah.
Why, Max?
Add up 1 and 5.
Perfect. You add up 1 and 5, you get 6. 3 goes into 6, so 3 goes into the whole thing. How about 5?
Yeah.
Yep, if it ends in a 5 or a 0. How about 6?
Yeah.
If it's divisible by 2 and 3,
Oh, yeah.
yes. How about 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, 224 is not divisible by 7. That's the weird rule. Double the 4 and you get an 8. 22, take away 8 is 14. Does 7 go into 14?
Yes.
So is that true?
No.
It's false. Okay. So, I've got a sample of problems. Now I'm going to go in the directions. I'm going to cross out the true statements. The letters that correspond to the true statements. Do you see that?
I'm only writing the false statements.
And I'm only writing in the false. So the first two letters that appear, W-O, let's zoom out here a little more. W-O, well, I already had it in, but let me show you in case you didn't get that. That would be right here, W-O. And then see down here, the next false statement, R-K. So the first word is work.
Oh, so a lot of these are true.
So a lot of them are true. But you have to go slow, otherwise it's easy to be careless. So I'm going to just stop that and we can do more questions. But that's enough for, I think, a sample.